Okay, so this is the piece that we'll be working on for this video. It's a desk. It comes with a chair. It's got really pretty hardware. I don't know if you can tell that from here, but it's good hardware. It's heavy. It's just really good hardware. And we're going to work on this. I'm going to work on the chair, but not on this video. But anyway, so my look for this is Asian inspired, and I want to paint this red. And by the way, you'll see how many things go wrong in this video, but I wanted to paint this red. I haven't painted red in a long time, so let's see how this turns out. Okay, so the color that I want to use for this piece is red. I'm using Debbie's Design Diary paint. No VOCs, not low, but no VOCs in this paint. It's great. It's clay base. We have two reds. We have Carnival Red and Marquee. I'm using the Marquee red for this, and it's just a really pretty red. I haven't painted anything red in a very long time, and so I was just kind of really wanting to use a red this time. So I usually do 2 coats when I paint. This time I'm just going to do 2 coats. What am I saying? I'm gonna do 2 coats, and let's see how that goes, and then from there I have other plans. But look at this red. Isn't it just like so pretty? I think it's really pretty. Okay, so now that the red paint is dry, I'm going to use Crackle Medium from Pen Art. This is some really sticky stuff, but it's awesome stuff. So I'm just going to brush this on the same as I did with the paint. And what's great about this, it's going to make the paint crackle. It's great. It's great for giving it this piece, or anything that you put this on, really, that like old world crackly paint, that it's been around forever look. And that's kind of what I'm looking for, because I want to make this piece look like it has been around for a while. Next, I'm going to use a little bit of this liquid gold leaf, and I am going to take a smaller brush, and I am just going to brush that on into the decorative part of this desk. I think this will be, the gold with the red will be what really catches your eye to this desk. I think gold and red looks pretty. I think gold with anything looks pretty anyways. So this is just going to be that little extra that this piece needs. In that color, and then you realize, oh, maybe this is not the color it's supposed to be. And that's what happened here with this desk. I wanted it to be red so badly, but then it just didn't feel right. So I just added black on top of that. On the top, however, I decided after I put the black again, I blended in some red and then some black again. So that's just how it goes, and it's okay to change your mind as you go along in whatever you are doing in your project. It's okay to totally do that. So after doing the top of this desk, I thought, well, maybe I can keep the top red and the bottom black. Even though I did blend some black into it, I did go over it with the red. While I let that dry, in the meantime, see, this is what I mean. Sometimes I keep changing my mind, and it's okay to do it. I decided that I would just keep putting this gold on the inside of the drawer, because I felt like there wasn't enough gold on this desk if I just put it on the decorative part. So I decided that, yeah, I think the gold on the inside would be better. It would be better for the desk, and I would like it better. So let's see how that goes in the end. But I think this is what this desk needed. So while we're at it, I want to show you the crackle. So remember the red underneath, and then I painted it black, and here's the crackle. Doesn't it look like chippy paint? Like this is kind of an old dresser and the paint is chipping. It looks like it's chipping. It's not really chipping. It's just the look that crackle from Pen Art gave it. Okay, so here's where it gets crazy. I decided that after painting the top black again, that I wanted to put this IOD inlay, paint inlay on top of, and it's really pretty. It's got the red and it's got the birds and the branches, and I thought this would totally go with the look I'm going for. And inlays are really fun to use. So the pattern or the picture, whatever you would like to call it, is on this paper. And what you do is you put it on wet paint, not dry paint, wet paint. So the black paint on top of this desk is wet. And then you grab the inlay, you put it the picture side down, and you spritz it with water, and you pat it down. Once this dries, that's when you pull the sheet up, and your image will stay on whatever it is that you're putting this on. You do have to spritz it after it's dry. So you're going to put it on wet paint, spritz it, pat it down. When it dries, spritz it again, and then you pull up the sheet. Well, that's not really how it worked for me. After all of that work of trying to line this up and get it just right, it just did not work. What happened is that the inlays, when I pulled them up, didn't stick. And not only did they not transfer onto, they also pulled up all of the paint when I went to pull up the paper. The crackling medium that's underneath kind of affects the inlays. For some reason, they don't work well. I've tried this on another piece and it didn't work. I don't know if there's a way of making it work, but this is the second time this has not worked for me. So let me just tell you what actually did happen. Nothing. The inlays did not work at all, and so I had to start all over again with the top of this piece. Pulling the inlay up also pulled up the paint, even though it was dry, and I have these splotchy red and black areas, which I could have been upset about, but I wasn't, because I put some more black over it, let that dry, and continued on, and it kind of worked to my advantage, actually, because it looked like an older piece because of the way the paint was. Okay, since I couldn't get the inlay to work like I wanted it to, I moved on to an Iron Orchid design transfer. This is called Japonica, and it's beautiful. It's got these pretty flowers and the Asian women, and so I think this was going to work better, and it did. What I had to do before I put this on, though, was I had to seal this desk because I didn't want that crackle medium to affect this transfer also, because then after that I would be out of options, I think. So I decided that this is what I was going to do. I sealed the desk. So I just ended up cutting up the pieces that I wanted to use on the desk here, and this was easy. This is a great product to use because you can, for the most part, cut it up, and actually it's kind of like a puzzle. You put the pieces where you think they need. Well, no, the puzzles, you have to put the pieces where they actually go, but with this you can put the pieces where you want them to go. So I decided that I put the two Asian ladies here in the corner, and then I rearranged the rest of the pieces where I wanted them to go. And that was pretty much what I did for the top of this desk, and it was pretty easy. So if you've never used an Iron Orchid design transfer before, the transfer itself comes, it's on plastic, and there's a white sheet behind it. And when you pull it away from the white sheet, you're going to get the piece that you want on what you're working on. You're just going to lay it over the top of that, whatever it is that you want the image to transfer onto. And then these come with these white, like plastic things here, sticks that you see me using, and you're gonna rub down. That's as simple as it can get, right? So you're just gonna rub it down, and you rub and you pull up slowly, and you will know when you transfer your image is onto what you're trying to put it on when you pull that sheet up. And it's no longer on that plastic sheet, but now it is where you're trying to put it, and that's great. That's easy. That's really all that's to it as far as this goes. So I just continued on. When you are done with placing these images where you want them to be, you do have to seal, or you should seal really, because that gives that protective layer so that, you know, this image doesn't end up coming up accidentally. So you're going to seal it whatever you want to. You can use wax, you can use I use Big Top or clear patina from Debbie's Design Diary, because that's what I sell and that's just what I use on all my pieces. But you could use wax, you could use anything as long as it's a sealant. The only thing left is to put back the hardware, and that's it. I mean, you do have to seal, or you should seal the rest of the piece, not just the top, and then put back the hardware, and you are all done. The desk is done, and I'm actually happy with the way it looked. I'm actually glad for the blooper of the paint coming up with the paint inlay. That was accidental, but you know, as Bob Ross likes to say, you know, you have happy little accidents and things turn out better than you thought they would if those things didn't happen. So I guess they happen for a reason, right? So don't ever worry when things aren't turning out the way you want them to, because maybe they're going to turn out the way they're supposed to, and you just don't know it yet.